Hello. Today we have a really special interview. This is Ashley. Um,
Hello.
Ashley has been totally rocking her health and fitness journey, and I wanted to bring her on so that she could share her story, share her struggles, share her victories. I know that she will inspire you if you're somebody who has tried, different strategies to lose weight and you have felt stuck at one time or another. With that being said, I'll just jump right in and start letting you guys hear about Ashley's story. So, Ashley, do you just want to share, first of all, a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what life is like?
Sure. I am 33 years old. I am an optometrist. I'm actually right now in the middle of opening a practice. So this year's been kind of weird with schedules and things like that. But I have a husband and two boys. Lewin is 4.5 and Elijah is 1.5. So super busy. We're just like running ragged all the time. Health has always been the health and fitness thing for me has always been kind of difficult. Growing up, I was super athletic, so I was always doing sports. So I was always fit because of that. I would never have described myself as a skinny person, but I was healthy. I was never overweight as a kid. And in college, that kind of changed. Everybody goes through that. Their metabolism slows down, lifestyle catches up to you and all that good stuff. So gained a lot of weight, probably like 30 to 40 pounds in college. And I was able to get about 25 pounds of it off when I was 26, just from portion control and meal prepping and things like that. I didn't reach my goal weight. Then I got pregnant with my son. So had my second in 3 years. And after I had my second son, Eli, a year and a half ago, I was the biggest I've ever been. So I've, for the past, 10 years, 10 to 15 years, really, since I started college, I've always been chasing that healthy status, or, where it used to be just kind of easy for me, just to be at the place that I wanted to be. And I never really thought that I would get there. I knew I could try, but that's where I am, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And your mindset has totally shifted, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So before we started working together, you started coaching, was it in May, I think? I'm trying to think of what month it was.
I think so.
It's been
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So before we started working together, what were some of the frustrations that you were having in your weight loss and fitness journey?
So in May, I had been probably 8 months into Weight Watchers. So I signed up for Weight Watchers September 30th of last year, and I had lost, I think, 28 pounds. So I was feeling better, much better. But with the pandemic what I thought was the pandemic, I had kind of stalled. My weight loss goal was 50 pounds, not because I want to be a certain weight. I don't really have a number in mind, except for the fact that I chose that because it was the biggest I could be, still have a healthy BMI. So the smallest amount of weight I could lose to get a healthy BMI was 50 pounds. Yeah. So I had another 22, 23 pounds to go. And I was just feeling really stuck and frustrated. I was happy with my progress for sure, but it had been at least 3 months gaining and losing the same 5 pounds over and over. So super frustrated, was just looking for a way to jumpstart that, to get going. So,
yeah. So what made you decide to kind of bite the bullet and start working together? What was kind of the push there?
So once I joined the Fit for Life community and you reached out about just having the 60-minute session to kind of get to know each other, really, I just wanted to go into it with an open mind, and that meaning you were super easy to talk to. So I still do, like, I feel like I've known you for a long time, even
Mm.
though I haven't.
Yeah.
But for me, it has never really been, especially when I started working with you, it's never been about what to eat, what to do. I know those things. I know how to eat healthy. I know that I need to exercise I know how to do those things. For me, it's always been a mental thing. And we talked about that a lot during that 60-minute meeting.
Mhm.
Um, and and you really made me believe that, I mean, probably honestly for the first time, that I could really get over these mental obstacles that I've been dealing with. I mean, probably honestly my whole life without
Mhm.
really knowing it. So mostly it was just a big desire to want to change that mindset and learn those things so that I don't have to like be burdened anymore.
Yeah. I still remember that first call, and I remember that you had mentioned that you always saw yourself as somebody who was overweight, right?
Hmm.
That was like kind of the
Even
mind.
though I haven't always been overweight,
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
for the past couple years.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I'm sure I have. I've shared a lot with you, but my I have I vividly remember my first body dysmorphic thought at age 6. I remember sitting in class when I was 6 years old, thinking how fat my legs looked, and I mean, just thinking about that now like breaks my heart. And
Mhm.
I don't want other girls to. I don't have daughters, but if I had daughters, I would not want that for them, and I don't want my boys to grow up thinking that that's normal for women to feel that way about themselves or things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So what things, since we've been working together, what has changed then as far as mindset and personally? Just share a little bit about how life has been different.
um it's really hard to put it into words. I think it was such a gradual shift. um I really liked the coaching structure because we would do, little things each week. The One of the things that sticks out to me is like the model, going backwards through your thoughts. What made you what got you to that undesired action, and how can we change that to a desired action? The thought errors, really, I think about those all the time. um, so really it's been a slow kind of day-to-day thing. um, it's not like I woke up one day and I'm here, but it's really hard to pinpoint where it happened. But slowly switching the mindset over to not wanting a quick fix. What are the small things that I'm doing that can really contribute in a big way? Really identifying those little things that were holding me back that I didn't really think much of, because they're not the big things. I'm not eating like a piece of cake at night. I'm not doing those things, but I'm still not losing weight. So kind of attacking those little things made big changes to where now I make those better changes when it comes to diet. I mindfully plan workouts. I've never done that before. I've never been a person to work out 5, 6 days a week, and that's what I'm doing. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah. And so Ashley, you'd been on Weight Watchers, as you mentioned, for a while, and we kind of talked through maybe how, like Weight Watchers, I think is a great program, but how there were maybe some things that weren't quite working for you. So,
Mhm.
um, can you touch on that a little? And you should also share how much weight you've lost, because I don't know if you even shared that yet, like where you're
I've
at
lost
on your journey.
42 and a half pounds. So
Yeah.
I am 7.5 pounds from goal.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Weight Watchers for me because my biggest thing has always been portion control. I need to know how much I'm eating of whatever it is. And when we started, that's really true. The one thing I don't like about Weight Watchers is there's a lot of people, they have on the app, it's called Connect. It's like Instagram for your Weight Watchers. Where people post recipes and you can interact with people and get the support that you need. But there's a lot of people who use it and use a lot of processed stuff. The biggest thing I see is sugar-free pudding mix for desserts, and I just die when I see people making them. But I wasn't doing those things, but some of those things creeped in because I heard about the substitutions wherever, and I thought, oh, that sounds good. I could try that for a treat. And that turned into me eating those things more than I really realized.
Mhm.
So, so I love Weight Watchers as a portion control tool, but I really try to eat more real foods. You know, I make sure to incorporate a lot of fruits and vegetables. I make sure I'm prepping a lot of fresh food for the week. I'm not I'm not buying artificial stuff that I can quickly throw together or eating out a lot. So um it works a little bit differently for everybody, but that's how it's worked for me. So
Yeah. And we talked through a lot, just little tweaks about maybe we said to get rid of your workout points for Weight
yeah,
Watchers, right? Yeah. So we
yeah,
just kind of walked through some little tweaks there,
yep.
but I think you're right in that if you, really for you, the biggest thing has been the mindset piece, and you've conquered so much as far as what you were thinking before and recognizing, well, maybe that's not the truth and maybe I could do things differently. And
Mhm.
yeah, so you've done an awesome job with that. Um, so if somebody was looking to work with a coach or they were thinking of being a part of our Fit Moms Academy, what pieces of advice would you give to them?
I mean, honestly, I would just say do it. um Number one, you've got to, I think a lot of what would hold you back from this kind of thing would maybe be the cost or the time commitment. And those things are very valid and very real. I think I remember when I talked to you, Kelsey, I said, I'm just not going to tell my husband to
Yeah.
pause for a minute.
Yeah.
Um, but I think about other things you spend that kind of money on. You do without thinking, if you go out and buy an outfit, that could easily be 150 bucks.
Mhm.
So your health is worth it. Your mindset is worth it. You are worth it. So, if you are really at the point where you're stuck, you need to figure out some things to help you get to where you need to be. This is an awesome place to go. It's so much different than I thought it would be, honestly, because it's the first diet thing I've tried that really doesn't attack the physical. It's more about your mental state. And I think that's the biggest misnomer that people think when they go on a diet. They think that all these other mental things in their life aren't related to their weight or their health, and I believe everything is. I mean,
Mhm.
other people are a little bit different. I'm a very emotional eater, though, but I know a lot of people out there are like that.
Mhm.
So all of that factors into how you take care of yourself. All of that affects your weight and your physical health. So um, as an education tool and as a way to say, you know what, I deserve this. Let's get this under control so I can be the best person I can be for the people in my life that need me to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, do you feel like, so I've worked with Ashley on a one-on-one setting and also in the group setting. So can you speak to that? Like, what have you gained from hearing from the other women as well?
I loved the one-on-one
Mhm.
just because I learned so much, and I'm only a couple weeks into the group setting, but it is wonderful it's just to get the support from other women who are going through the same thing that you are, to kind of know that you're not alone. And then it's so nice to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and have a small community where, I don't want to be like that super annoying person online that is, oh, look at, this is my run today, or, whatever. It's so nice to be able to have other women who are trying to do the same thing, who can kind of cheer you on and go, awesome job, this is what I did today, and keep going. Or those days when you're having a bad day, like, I really don't want to do this today.
Mhm.
Get me out of this funk, and they'll do it. So
Yeah.
um, just to hear their experiences too makes it a lot more valuable.
Yeah. Um, so to kind of close today then, so if you were to talk to somebody, if you were to talk to a woman, so a mom just like yourself who's busy and, feeling stuck, what would be your number one piece of advice to that woman?
If you're feeling stuck, number one, the biggest thing is you've got to figure out a way to get to the bottom of what that stuck is. It can be different for everyone. Really take the time. You're gonna, if you feel guilty for taking time away from the kids, or you feel guilty for taking time away from work to do something like this, those feelings are going to be there for no matter what. Um, it's the most, it's the best gift you can give yourself to get out of that deep, dark place, um, and really start to take care of what's holding you back. Um, I feel like for the first time in my life, like that's where I am. And it's a pretty awesome feeling. I would want that feeling for everybody. So, I mean, whether that's coaching for me, I feel like it was, I've tried a lot of things and this has really been super valuable for me. You just got to figure out what you need to do to find out why you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get down to the why, that's when things will finally change.
Yeah. And taking some sort of action, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always encourage women to
Got to
just
take
think
the
about,
action to figure out why. Yeah.
yeah. I always encourage women to just think about, like, if you don't do anything, whatever that thing is, where will you be in 3 months, 6 months, a year? Probably in the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least
I say
room.
that to myself all the time. Where would I be if I weren't, where would I be if I didn't do this today?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the time's going to pass anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So would you rather take the time and be where you want to be 3, 6, 9 months down the road? Or would you rather feel like crap for a while longer,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the time will pass anyway.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Ashley. If anybody has a question, do you care if they reach out to you just about
Oh,
your
for
journey?
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that, I've said it already, but you're just such an inspiration of just going from a place where you were unhappy and just making, daily changes and figuring out what you need to do. You do a great job of taking care of yourself mentally and physically. And now you're about to start a practice. So you're really encouraging to those moms who are ambitious, who have a lot going on, just that you can make this health thing work for you and you can get to the point where you're feeling
Yeah.
confident. And now Ashley's running another business too. And if you're in our Facebook community, you can check that out with Zaya too. But she's just like really, really taking all she's learned and like carrying it over to other areas of her life. So you've done a great job and we are excited to see you get to that goal weight. I don't think it'll be too long.
Thank you.
So,
I hope so.
yeah.
We're working on it.
There. All right. So if anybody has questions, reach out to me. If you want to schedule a free session like Ashley had mentioned, where we just sit down and kind of talk about the thing that is keeping you stuck, then just look for the link in our Facebook group, or I can drop it below and we'll just kind of talk through that. We'd love to have you in Fit Moms Academy. Ashley is one of several women who are all on the road to weight loss and they're doing awesome. So I think that's all for today. Thanks again, Ashley.
Thank you.
All